Fire Emblem. Engage.
Most of the commentary in this playthrough will be about the story and characters rather than gameplay. I'm McGiggles, or Gigs, and I love this game. I've played through it a couple of times now, and I write fanfiction for it. So without further ado, let's get started. I think I'm gonna go through with male Allier, just for fun. My first playthrough was with female Allier. Because this is not a gameplay-driven walkthrough, I'm just gonna go hard mode. But I will go classic. Just for fun. And random, because I love chaos. Personally, I like the glowy spots.
Almost time.
We can handle this.
Keep them back!
We won't lose! Not today!
Keep going! You can do this!
Our final battle lies ahead. Now, it's time to engage. Let's go. One last battle and the war will be over. The others fought hard to clear a path for us. We can't let them down.
You're here, at your end. This place will be your tomb.
Move in. I'll remain by your side.
Now that little intro was a sneak peek at all of the royals that we're going to be seeing throughout the game. I love them. They're so cool in that intro. Unfortunately, this particular intro does not actually happen later in the game. They just want you to think that it happens later in the game. Fire Emblem Awakening was such a success with its tease of an intro that pretty much every Fire Emblem game afterwards has copied it. They did it with Shadows of Valentia, with doing things. They did it with Fire Emblem Fates. And now they're doing it here. They have this cool final confrontation kind of vibe. But honestly, it does not happen. Now, I'm probably going to play the audio separately over the battles, so it might end up feeling a little bit like a podcast. I don't know. There might be something flashy for you to look at while we go. We'll see how it goes. Of course, this first fight is extremely easy. It's just a tutorial.
It's time. Engage!
Of course, engaging
yield.
is the main mechanic. So they want you to learn it really early.
The time has come. Now, as one. Emblem, engage!
They're so cool. Yeah, I love this. I eat this up.
We are now connected and can unleash a powerful attack. Together! Fate has brought us here.
You have nothing to celebrate. You are weakness itself. You will never defeat me.
Wanna bet?
Thanks to you, this world is saved. And my work here is complete. Know that I will always be with you. And that we will stand together again, as we did this day. If ever we cross paths again, I hope you will remember me.
This is not how the game ends.
Indeed, that you will remember all of us who took up arms to fight by your side. The 12 emblems.
Kind of.
Where am I?
Huh?
Whoa, tell me you're seeing this.
Hello there. And you are?
You're awake!
Huh?
You're really awake, yeah?
You're the divine dragon!
No way!
No way! The divine dragon is finally awake!
Hey, hold on.
Calm down, you two. What's all of this ruckus about?
So this game is kind of interesting in that it flips the usual let's awaken the dragon at the end of the game thing on its head. Instead of spending the entire game gathering stones and getting a fire emblem or a falcon or whatever, we are the divine dragon. Or rather, Allier is the divine dragon. Allier very much has a personality. It doesn't really feel like a my unit, but I'll probably talk about that more later. Anyways, look at how cute Fram and Clan are.
Divine dragon. It's a miracle. An utter miracle. The divine one awake at long last. That I might live to see you standing before me. What an honor.
Not to be rude, but who are you?
Ah, apologies. I lost myself for a moment there. My name is Vander. I am the 32nd steward of the dragon.
Hello, Sir Vander?
Oh, my divine one. There is no need to address me as such. Simply Vander will do.
See? I told you the divine dragon was awake!
Yeah, we were telling the truth.
You two. I don't believe I got your names.
Oh, sorry. We were so excited we forgot to introduce ourselves. We're the 33rd Stewards of the Dragon. My name's Clan. Pleased to meet you.
So of course, this is an anniversary reference. The 33rd anniversary of Fire Emblem happened when this game came out. There have been 33 stewards before this. I do love that there's an established order of stewards that tend to the divine dragon and worship the divine dragon, and I really wish that they elaborated a little bit more on the church in this game. We do get a little bit with some characters that we're going to see later, including Vander here.
And I'm Fram. We're twins. We've been waiting forever for you to wake up.
As stewards of the dragon, our mission is to protect and provide for you. Generation after generation of our predecessors waited for you to rise from your slumber. I'll admit, I am astonished to see it has finally happened.
Now, I like the implication that this line of stewards was established specifically to look after Allier, not necessarily to look after Queen Lumera, a different divine dragon who we're going to meet in a little bit. That says to me that the stewards were probably established by Queen Lumera herself, assuming that they weren't originally in order to look after Queen Lumera that she then adapted to look after her son. Someone do the math on 33 lifetimes, if that is a little bit over 1,000 years or not. Actually, let me pull out a calculator. I can do this. Wait, isn't Vander like in his 30s? Vander is much younger than he appears, for sure, for sure. Let me look up his age, too. Now, take ages in this game with a grain of salt. There are very strange age situations with the engaged cast. For example, Citrine from Brodia is said to have played with Diamant as a child, but if that were the case, they would have an 8-year age gap. So it's very strange to imagine like a 4-year-old Citrine playing with a 12-year-old Diamant, vice versa. So I don't really see the data mined ages as a perfect reference, but if we're to refer to them, Vander is said to be age 45. He looks like he's 60 here. The years have not been kind to poor Vander. But it looks like if there were 33 stewards, and a new steward came about every 30 years, that would add up to be 990 years. So that actually checks out. It does indeed seem like the stewards were probably established specifically for Allier. Interpret that as you will.
You see, 1,000 years have passed since the first steward took their post.
1,000 years? That's how long I've been asleep?
Indeed. Your mother, Lumera, the divine dragon monarch, has long awaited this day. Finally, you, a divine dragon yourself, have awakened. This surely signifies great things.
Slow down. This monarch you mentioned, she's my mother?
And I'm a divine dragon, you called it?
Oh, dear. Is your memory hazy, Divine One?
I know my name, but that's about it.
You can't remember anything else?
Maybe you're just feeling groggy because of all that sleep.
But I don't even know who I am.
Fret not. Such lapses in memory are to be expected after sleeping for so long. If I may, you are a divine dragon, a member of a royal family of dragons revered as deities. Queen Lumera, the divine dragon monarch, rules over the holy land of Lythos. In the war 1,000 years ago, she defeated and imprisoned the wicked, fell dragon. You, Divine One, are her only child.
The war. The Fell Dragon. I feel like I can almost remember, but...
Please, do not trouble yourself trying to bring it all back at once.
We will get a peek at what those memories were later. Do not worry.
Your memories will return in time. You are a being of immense power. A deity, no less. I have heard many a tale of your kindness, nobility, and bravery. Your unflinching heroism.
That's a lot to live up to.
For now, let us head to Lythos Castle. Queen Lumera will be thrilled to see you.
Now right there, this is a big part of Allier's character. The fact that Allier has this fate thrust upon him immediately upon waking up and has no clue how to live up to that. Allier literally wakes up one day and is told he's a god. How do you deal with that?
Perhaps the reunion will help stir your memories.
I hope so.
Okay then. Onward and downward.
To Lythos Castle!
He said downward there. That's because we are probably in the sky, in the Somniel right now. More on that later. Oh, that's beautiful, though. The art in this game is really incredible.
All this time, I've been sleeping in the sky?
That goes for character art, too.
You have, yes. The place where you slumbered is known as the Somniel, a fortress built upon an airborne island to ensure your safety. It is perhaps the most secure place in all of Helios. Only a select few can set foot there.
I see. And you three live there with me?
Yep. As stewards, we spend our time caring for you. And managing things around the Somniel. It's a sacred place, so we work as hard as we can to keep it shipshape.
Royal family members visit us all the time. Well, visit you, really.
This is interesting to me because most of Helios is fairly religious. We'll see that in action a little bit later as well, but specifically Firene, the land of flowers, is extremely religious, and Brodia, the land of might, is implied to be somewhat religious as well. Solm, the desert country, does have some churches in it. Obviously, one of the characters from there is a priest. So they're also implied to be divine dragon worshippers. The only exception to this is Elusia, the kingdom of knowledge, who, of course, worships the fell dragon, but more on that later as well.
The Prince and Princess of Firene, a deeply religious country, visit especially often.
Thank you for punctuating my point, Clan.
They pray next to you, like this. Then they just talk for a while, like they're chatting to a friend.
I see. Thanks for filling me in, Fram. You too, Clan.
The Divine One said our names! And thanked us!
This is particularly pertinent to the Firenese royals characters. Not only are they deeply religious, but they also saw the Divine Dragon as a confidant before they even met the Divine Dragon. That plays a big part in their relationship with the Divine Dragon moving forward, especially Alfred, who sees you as a very close friend.
I think I'm going to faint! Unless I already did. Am I dreaming?
Need I remind you that you are in the presence of the Divine Dragon? How many times must I tell you to behave in a manner befitting your station? Divine One, please, forgive this embarrassing breach of decorum.
Breach of decorum? I'm actually enjoying their enthusiasm.
You're just as kind-hearted as I always imagined.
Oh, look! There it is!
Lythos Castle. The Divine Dragon Monarch is there, you said?
Yes. I suppose 1,000 years have passed since you've been home.
Don't worry. We'll be right there with you.
You can hold my hand if you like.
Thank you.
They're so wholesome.
How long have I been wearing this ring? Since before I fell asleep? That blue stone. It reminds me of something. Huh?
What are those horrible things?
Vander, are creatures like that common around here?
They're not. I've never seen them. Nor have I heard of such monsters appearing in Lythos before. This is a land of peace.
Understood. Well,
Shall we fight them? As you wish, Divine One. You whose bravery knows no equal.
no, let's run.
Huh?
Nailed it!
We haven't the slightest idea who they are, and we don't know how they came to be here. Also, they worry me for some reason. So, we run.
Well, did the Divine Dragon really command me to retreat?
Okay, get to safety.
We'll keep them distracted for you!
What the? Come back! Come back this instant!
Oh no!
This isn't looking good.
Clan! Fram!
Hold on! We shall come to you!
Those two did not get the memo to run. Clan and Fram are quite brash,
Vander!
so it makes a lot of sense for them to do this.
Divine One, stay back. It's too dangerous.
Clan and Fram were trying to protect me. I have to help them. I take back what I said. This is no time to run. Please, let me fight.
All right, but stay on your guard.
I will.
What are these creatures doing in Lythos? We had best use the foliage to take cover.
Notably, Allier is far more willing to jump into trouble if there are people's lives on the line. Fram and Clan are in danger. Therefore, Allier will go for it. When it's just him, he's not going to do that. And Allier actually has very good reason to be afraid of Corrupted, which will not be revealed until much later, but we will get to it. Say, Allier has definitely dealt with them before. There's quite a bit of trauma to unpack with Allier later, actually, so look forward to that.
There are too many of them. Divine One, get out of here! Ow!
Don't worry, she's fine.
Fram, are you all right?
Clan, Fram, it's not safe for you here. Retreat to the castle. These enemies are formidable indeed. Divine One, please use a vulnerary if you are wounded. As your steward.
I won't forget you.
I love the animations in this game.
I gotta protect Fram. You rotten monsters, don't scare me. Oh!
Now this part's a little unfortunate. I want Allier to have the last hit. So we're gonna put him here and hope for a crit.
Oh no!
Didn't actually play that optimally. But that's okay.
I had to stop you.
More enemies.
They just keep coming. You're all trying to protect me. I should be protecting you. If only I could. Somehow.
That right there. Allier realizes on some level that he is the Divine Dragon. He's the dragon who's been awakened, and he has a responsibility. Jump scare.
You must remember.
I love that Marth just slides in.
Who said that? The ring.
Know that my strength can be yours.
I know that voice.
If ever we cross paths again, I hope you will remember me. Indeed, that you will remember all of us who took up arms to fight by your side.
The 12 emblems.
Divine One? Divine One! You mustn't do this alone!
Don't worry! Please! I'm not alone! Help me. Lend me your strength in this fight. Shine on! Emblem of Beginnings!
I am known as Marth. Emblem Marth, to be clear.
Yeah, that uptick in music. Shout out to this Corrupted who's fighting back against two Fire Emblem protagonists at once.
That was amazing!
We did it! Thanks for your help, Marth. Truly.
Of course. It is good to see you. I was able to answer your call because you remembered me.
Do my eyes deceive me? Or is that an emblem of legend?
Clam! Fram! Get to safety, now!
Right!
With your help, Marth, we might just make it. Will you join us?
Of course. I will fight alongside you from here forward. Your ally until the very end.
The bond that Allier and Marth have in particular is extremely strong. They've been together for this entire 1,000 years that Allier has been slumbering. They have fought together in the past, albeit in a different sort of way. Now, conveniently, these enemies have exactly the amount of health that you need to kill with a Lodestar Rush.
My prayers are with you! This is it! I cannot afford to lose.
Every emblem has an ultimate attack that usually ties into their personality or things like that. We won't be examining the emblems as much. We're going to be focusing more on engaged characters at large. But we might delve into how those emblems relate to each country as we go. We'll see. The animations in this game are
I cannot
beautiful.
afford to lose.
Divine One, Vander, thanks for saving us.
Yeah. And, sorry. This all happened because we ran ahead.
I'm the one who should apologize. You put yourselves in danger trying to protect me. It's such a relief you're both safe now.
Allier is a very kind person.
Divine One, I hear more enemies approaching.
That sounds inconsequential, but it really isn't, and we'll see a little bit more on that later. I keep saying that, but yeah.
More? I thought we'd gotten them all.
Evidently not. These creatures, will there be no end to them?
There's more?
Here's Mama.
They've got a dragon?
Mummy?
At last, you are awake. Is it really you?
So for those of you who played Fire Emblem Three Houses, you know there is a dragon villain of sorts in that game, depending on which route you play through. I love that they play on that idea. They present to you this big white dragon, and you say, oh my gosh, that was an enemy in the last game. But no, it's actually Dragon Mommy here, who is on your side, and good, presumably.
Yes, it's me. Thank you for saving us.
What a joy it is to see you.
Huh?
I've waited for so long.
Oh.
When I sensed you had awoken, I flew here as fast as my wings would carry me.
This part is interesting. She can sense if her fellow divine dragon awakens. I believe that this is because of the bond that they forged while Allier was sleeping. You see, her divine energy runs through Allier. We'll say it's because it's her kid.
I hope you're not hurt.
I'm fine.
What a relief. You cannot understand how I've missed you, my dear child.
Notably, she has been alone, the only divine dragon in the entire world for the past 1,000 years, which is extremely sad. I feel for her.
Oh, you're my mother.
That will play a part later. Just, put a pin in that for much, much, much later.
What's the matter? Don't tell me.
Since awakening, the Divine One's memory is clouded.
I see.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you weren't expecting this.
No, I must apologize. I was so overcome with joy. I hugged you as hard as I could. I take this to mean you've forgotten everything.
That does sour the reunion quite a bit. And I'm sure that that joy she just felt when she realized she was no longer alone was harmed just a little bit.
I suppose it's to be expected. 1,000 years is a very long time.
Vander explained that I've been sleeping since some war that happened back then?
Yes. You suffered a terrible wound. And because of that...
A wound? I don't remember that. Or this world, or anything.
Don't fret, young one. I will speak to you of all you've forgotten.
Now, it is implied that that wound was fatal. In the DLC for this game, the Fel Xenologue, they discuss this a little bit more. Or rather, they discuss the idea that a divine dragon can bring another dragon back from death. It's uncertain how they're able to do this other than simply pouring their divine energy into the other being. It's a fun thing to interpret.
Regardless of what you remember, I'm simply glad to have you back, my dear child.
Still, this isn't the reunion you hoped for.
Oh, don't worry about me. It's solace enough just to hear that sweet voice of yours.
Once again, Allier is hyper aware of his situation and how he's not living up to what people expect of him. The very fact that he cannot remember anything, he sees as a shortcoming.
And to gaze once more into your eyes. What lovely colors they are.
I always thought this was neat. how you can just kind of walk around the battlefields after you've been in them. Like, look at how lovely this is. It's such a small area, but it's really neat. Like, you can see the doves in the distance. But sometimes you will get little character tidbits in these scenes as well, and I'll comment on them as appropriate, of course.
So great!
Amazing!
What happened to the guy who popped out of your ring? Yeah, about that.
Thank you. Let's head to the castle. Climb on my back. We live on the continent of Elyos, 4 realms surrounding a holy land at its center. Firene, Kingdom of Abundance. Brodia, Kingdom of Might. Elusia, Kingdom of Knowledge. Solm, Queendom of Freedom. The land of Lythos, home of divine dragons. And Gradlon, domain of the fell dragon, fallen to ruin. 1,000 years ago, our lands endured a vicious war with the fell dragon. We called upon heroes from other worlds to aid us, heroes known as Emblems. With them, the warriors of our nations fought as one. In the end, we were victorious in defeating and imprisoning the fell dragon. In the years since, our world has been safe. But now, I sense a resurrection. The binding weakens. If his shadow stretches across the land again, then we must fight him anew, as we did in ages past. Fell Dragon, Sombron, must be stopped.
That's such a cool sequence. Casually.
Here we are. We are safe within these walls.
She used some interesting language there, though. Of course, she was introducing each country and giving you an idea of what each country is about, but she also specifically said the binding of the Fell Dragon. I think that this is just a reference to the Binding Blade, as in Fire Emblem the Binding Blade. I mean, what other Binding Blade? But it is interesting. That is a Fire Emblem that I have not played, so there may be some relation there. Somebody tell me.
So this is Lythos Castle. It's beautiful.
I'm glad you think so. Though you may not remember this place, I've long waited to welcome you back here. Welcome home.
I love this music as well. This particular music is Something in the Garden, something like that. And I listen to it very frequently whenever I'm writing more quiet scenes.
I'm home?
Yes, you are. I feel overwhelmed with joy. I may cry.
Queen Lumera.
Vander, Clan, Frem, thank you for all you've done. You are worthy stewards indeed. You and your predecessors, watching over my child all these years. I am ever so grateful.
You are too kind.
Yeah, it's awful nice of you to say that. I'm starting to feel woozy.
Oh yeah, go us! We just got praised by Queen Lumera herself!
The happiness of this moment aside, I am troubled to see the corrupted here in Lythos.
I'm really interested in the fact that there don't seem to be stewards of Lumera, the Divine Dragon. Like, Vander and Clan and Fram definitely do serve Lumera as well, but their priority is definitely on Allier. I just think it's really interesting. Like, there's definitely people in Lythos Castle itself who serve Lumera. This is definitely the center of dragon worship. This is where the Divine Dragon is, after all. But we don't see any of them. Ah! My world-building senses.
The corrupted?
They
Those
burn!
enemies you were fighting out on the grasslands.
Oh, I didn't like those things one bit. Just the sight of them made my blood run cold.
Once again, Allier has a very specific hatred for corrupted.
Understandably so. The corrupted are corpses revived by an evil power. The Fell Dragon used them as his soldiers in the war. Before the start of that bitter conflict, Elios had known peace for eons. But then, a dark presence emerged. Sombron. Despite tireless searching, we could not determine where he'd come from. But seeing the destruction he wrought, there was no doubt of his evil intentions. Now the corrupted are spreading once more. This may be a sign of his return.
No.
I wonder if it is mere coincidence that you awakened as all this unfolds.
I'm not 100% certain on this front. It may be that Fell Dragon energy going around the land helped awaken Allier for reasons I'll explain 20 chapters from now. But I think it's more likely that just the divine energy within Allier became such that he was now able to awaken because he had the strength to do so. Dragons are creatures of immense power, and it's implied, again, in the DLC, in the Fell Xenologue, that 1,000 years is kind of the magic number to bring them back. At least, you know, if they're not fully dead. There is definitely a point when divine dragons become fully dead.
If the Fell Dragon has been released, then we must prepare for battle.
I can't imagine fighting someone like that.
Worry not. I doubt he will attack anytime soon.
Thinking about it, the Fell Dragon Sombron also rose from the dead 1,000 years later. That really is the magic number, huh? It's also interesting to me that Sombron, I believe, suffered what appeared to be a fatal wound 1,000 years ago. And I wonder if he was brought back by another Fell Dragon, who we'll see at one point, or if it's simply a recovery of his own merit. Because I'm uncertain if the Fell Dragon in question that I'm talking about, the second Fell Dragon, is the type of person who would want to resurrect Sombron or not. I'll probably speculate a little bit more on that later, because I'm really not certain. Just spitballing here.
This castle is filled with the spirits of divine dragons. The corrupted cannot enter it easily.
The question is whether a divine dragon can raise on their own or not, and I believe that dragons cannot raise without some sort of outside influence.
Let us devise a plan now, while we have the opportunity. Emblem Marth.
Marth jump scare again.
It's been quite some time, Lumera.
That it has. Thank you for lending your aid against the corrupted.
You're welcome. But of course, I could help only because your child remembered me. You know, it is possible the others are awake now, just as I am.
Perhaps you are right.
Sorry, but what do you mean? Who's awake?
There is something I should show you. Follow me.
It's cool to see the ring chamber statues.
What is this place?
This is the Ring Vault. It is where the Emblem rings are enshrined. Those of the Holy Knight, of the Sage Lord, and of the Azure Twins rest here.
Wait. That's not the button. There we go. Celica, spotted.
As well as the ring of the Princess Exalt. And finally, the ring of the Instructor.
So this is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings are kept here out of the 12. That is a lot of rings to be kept in one place. Again, it makes sense because the Divine Dragon herself protects this place. And of course, it's implied that the Divine Dragon herself bears a lot of power. But how much power could she bear? She's a Fire Emblem mom.
Each dwells within an emblem ring, as Marth resides in the Ring of the Hero King.
So, counting Marth, there are 6 emblem rings. Wow.
In fact, there are 12. 6 here, and 6 entrusted to the other countries, as a precautionary measure.
What do you mean?
The emblems grant world-altering power to whoever has all 12 rings.
I do find it interesting that Lumera chose to keep Marth's ring on Alier's finger, instead of putting it in the ring chamber.
For generations, the Divine Dragons used this power to ensure peace and prosperity in Elyos. Indeed, that was how we locked away the Fell Dragon.
So once again, there used to be many Divine Dragons out there, and now there are none. Or rather, there are 2.
But many have sought to steal the rings and use them for their own nefarious purposes.
I'm actually uncertain if the Divine Dragons simply died out over time, or if they were killed off during Sombron's whole Fell Dragon situation 1,000 years ago. I'm inclined to think that there was a decline of Divine Dragons over time, and that Sombron simply finished off a couple of them at the very end. But once again, Queen Lumera has been alone for a very, very long time, even before she knew Alier.
Which is why they're scattered all over the continent, not just stored here.
Precisely. The rings offer their power but once every 1,000 years, at which time the Divine Dragon travels across Elyos to collect them from each nation's ruler. With 1,000 years having passed since last time, I was planning to carry out this ritual soon. But if the Fell Dragon is after the rings, the emblems may be summoned before I arrive.
Summoned?
It is how one calls for an emblem from a ring, just as you did earlier with Marth. Only those with royal dragon blood are capable of summoning. That includes you, my child.
Oh, you must be talking about the phrase that popped into my head.
An invocation, you mean? What was it?
Shine on, emblem of beginnings. I wasn't even thinking about it. The words just fell from my mouth.
That was how you summoned Marth. What was your focus, your intention when you spoke those words?
I wanted to help Clan and Fram. I didn't want to lose them. I wanted to protect them.
Your focus was on helping others. Remember that intention whenever you summon emblems.
This exchange right here. Alier summoned the emblem with an invocation. Lumera has a moment where she's like, that's interesting. And moves on. Put a pin in that.
Not to keep the power for yourself. Understand? To borrow so you may protect others.
I understand.
Now, why don't we try a practice battle? You must be a little rusty after all these years. How about we train here? You will be the one fighting. The emblem lends you their strength. You need to train your body and mind to unleash an emblem's full power. Vander, Clan, Frem, you will be aiding my child in this battle. Against me.
Queen Lumera, even in a practice battle, I could not turn my weapon on you.
Oh, Vander, please do put your heart into it. I know I will.
I love this music. The Lythos music. You actually hear this music many, many times in future music. Or rather, references to it.
The corrupted?
No, dear. Not at all. How could you think so? I made these opponents from plants and rocks.
This is so funny to me. Okay, you can't make the soulless automaton and tell me it's not corrupted adjacent. Look at this thing, it's creepy!
Nevertheless, their abilities are the same. Drop your guard and you could be hurt.
Lumera over here like, no, this is a good corrupted, I promise.
They're really unsettling. Can we train with something else? They give me the chills.
I second that.
Listen, you must push through your fear and face whatever opponent stands against you. Never run away. You are my child, the protector of all. The divine dragon.
Way to spread even more expectation on that expectation sandwich, madam.
I understand.
Don't worry, Divine One. We'll back you up every step of the way.
Yeah! Well, what Fram said.
As loath as I am to battle against Queen Lumera, orders are orders. I pledge to bring us victory.
Thank you, everyone.
Now, let's begin.
Be cautious, Divine One. Some of these enemies are carrying long-range weapons. Therefore, they can rain arrows upon us from afar.
So, Queen Lumera is interesting as a character. I've talked about her quite a bit before now. She is very lonely and very sad, and is very excited to see her kid wake up. This entire reunion has definitely been tainted by the memory loss, and of course that weighs on Allier. It's all very sad. I do like that in this practice battle, Lumera genuinely enjoys herself. She really gets into it. I also want to draw attention to this music again, because this music is referenced many, many times in future music to come. The do 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 is the first couple notes of the intro song, but it's also very specifically associated with Lythos, and you hear that in a lot of the Lythos music.
Stop you.
Hey, Divine One. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I can use magic. I'm good from near or far, even against well-protected enemies.
I don't think I'm going to be using Clan in this playthrough, so it doesn't really matter if he gets EXP.
The Divine One looked right at me! You know, I can do some mean healing with my staff. Not only that, I can take incoming hits for nearby allies. But it smarts when I do. Anyway, if you don't want to get hurt, or you need some patching up, just lean on me.
The gameplay story integration is actually fantastic. How all of the characters give their little blurb, or rather their little explanation in character.
For the Divine Dragon.
Yeah, you can get attacked. It's
Anything.
not even tired.
I am saved.
It's time. There is no need to hold back, my child.
All right.
She looks so cool. I love her braid ponytail thing. It looks so cool. She's so flowy. The character designs in this game are so over the top. Of course, there is a lot of clipping, but she's so cool. I like seeing Lumera with a sword in hand. Mother.
Queen Lumera, please forgive me for standing against you.
Vander, you are my child's knight. You must fill that role as best you can. Attack me with all your might.
Here until the end.
I will try to get as many of those support conversations as I can.
So sorry.
Ooh. That death soundbite
Fantastic
is
work.
so telling.
We fought together
It's so
splendidly.
spoilerific.
Let's move on.
I forget I said
Wait
that.
over there a moment. All right. If everyone is in position, we'll begin. This time, I will be more hands-on. I intend to fight as if in an actual battle. Furthermore, I'll be using this.
Is that the Ring of the Holy Knight?
Indeed it is. I'm inviting an old friend to join us.
I am Sigurd. If you require strength and swiftness, I am all too happy to oblige.
Emblem Sigurd. He looks like a strong opponent.
Each emblem has their own abilities. When allied with them, you can call upon their unique powers and skills.
Whatever Sigurd's power is, it won't be the same as Mart's. We'd better keep our eyes open.
My rapier is effective against cavalry, like those enemies over there. Once we engage, you can use my weapon. Try it against that foe.
It seems that Queen Lumera has used Sigurd specifically for a very long time. I have to assume that Lumera used Sigurd not only during the last war, but probably even before that, since she refers to him as an old friend. Granted, 1,000 years is enough time to become an old friend, but Queen Lumera is definitely implied to be much, much older than that. You'll also notice that when she summons Sigurd, she did not use an invocation the same way that we did. She simply prayed over her ring, and that was it. Put a pin in that.
Oh, thank goodness.
I've got this.
Your steward's ready.
The crit animations are so good.
Dream well.
That line is so good too. Dream well. All of the little character flavor lines are so fun and fitting. Oh, he's not gonna hit. No, I'm putting him here for no particular reason.
Your teamwork is inspiring. Now it's time for us to make our move. Come, Sigurd.
I believe that this occasion where Queen Lumera is fighting.
That was incredible.
Lord Sigurd is remarkably swift. Perhaps we should be grateful this is a mock battle.
I believe that this is a very important time for Lumera. Oh, whoops.
I want to stay by the Divine Dragon's side, but I can't take anymore. Sorry, I've got to retreat.
That's fine. This isn't a no-death run, this is a story run! Let's just kill Lumera. It's fine.
Emblem, engage!
And dead Lumera. Oh wait though, she looks so cool in her engaged form. It's the only time that we'll really get to see it, so... Oh, she looks so cool. She even has like the little ruffle on her front. The changed hair color on her suits her really well too. She looks so graceful. Now we can kill her.
This is certainly more of a challenge.
Your enemies will not hold back, and neither will I. That is why you must defeat me. What a delight it is to see you in battle after all these years.
Fate has brought us here. This is it!
I'm so sorry. You've won. I'm proud to see you working together so well.
I love this friendly fight. It's so nice to see her like this.
Well fought, everyone. You bested Sigurd and me. That's quite the feat. There is much to improve upon, but this is a wonderful start. Great work.
Thank you.
I can't believe we had to fight against Queen Lumera.
Yeah, well, I can't believe we won!
Though you have only just awoken, your power seems to be growing already, Divine One.
I'd like for you to have this.
This is the sword you were using, isn't it?
Yes. An ancient blade that can be wielded only by divine dragons. It served me well for many years, but now it is yours. Consider it a prize for your victory today.
Thank you. Someday, I'll prove that I'm worthy of this sword.
I have no doubt. Please, take this as well.
Take note of this ring.
Is this another emblem ring?
No, it is purely ornamental. You see, before your slumber, I made you a promise.
In this game about rings having people pop out of them, you cannot just hand me a ring and tell me that it has no meaning.
What was it?
I said I'd give you a birthday present that suited you perfectly. I was working on it in private, but I was unable to finish it in time. That birthday has long since passed, but I would quite like to give you this gift now.
That is very, very sweet, though. This is specifically a ring that Queen Lumera had made for Allier, which is...
I'm sorry. I can't accept.
Buddy! Buddy, read the room!
Why not?
That ring fulfills a promise you made me, right? But I don't remember that promise. It'd feel wrong accepting it. Like I was taking a present meant for someone else. Please offer me this gift again once I've remembered everything.
He means well.
Everything, you say? Did facing me in battle stir any recollections?
It didn't. I'm sorry.
I do find this line interesting. Because 1,000 years ago, I will not go into specific spoilers, but 1,000 years ago, we don't see Allier facing specifically Queen Lumera in battle at any point. So I wonder if this implies that they did actually face each other in battle. Again, I don't think they did, because I think that their first meeting was on somewhat good terms, assuming that the past wasn't changed somehow. Either way, interesting line.
You need not apologize. It doesn't matter what you can remember right now. I only hope that one day you will think of me as your mother.
Maybe this implies that Allier faced other divine dragons, potentially, that were not Queen Lumera. That's the best explanation that I can think of.
As you did 1,000 years ago. Forgive me. I was so thrilled to spend time with you again. I suppose I got a little carried away, didn't I?
Oh, no. It's all right.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. Perhaps we should call it a day, hmm? But let's agree to chat again in the morning. What do you say? Pinky promise?
All right.
There is a track called Pinky Promise, and I think that's adorable, question mark. Thanks for the sword, though. Great evasiveness. Oh, this is so pretty. So this is Lythos Castle. Has a big atrium like this. Oh, perfect for battles. A fountain depicting a divine dragon in the center. And swords. Those swords don't have any particular design to them. I don't think the number 4 has any significance here either. But this is a beautiful place. I think there's an implication that divine dragon energy does affect the land around it, which may be part of why Firene, the very religious kingdom, is a land of abundance, because it's so close geographically. Well, it's about the same distance as everything else, but I think there is some implication that the divine dragons bless that land. And that's why it's so abundant. I say this because in the DLC, in the Fel Xenologue, Firene loses some of its abundance in that world because there is no divine dragon in that world. So I think that this abundance that we see here in Lythos is, once again, connected to Queen Lumera being here.
Spectacular as ever.
Please rest easy for today.
We'll chat in the morning, she says.
How wonderful to see my child awake at last. Now we'll never have to be apart. There is so much to catch up on, so much to see and do together. We can chat for hours, take long walks, share meals, and then... If my child's memories are truly lost, I wonder... Emblem Sigurd.
I am here.
There's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Today certainly was eventful. Queen Lumera seems so kind and caring. I'm sure she was a wonderful mother. If only I could remember those days. I must have felt so lucky to be her child.
Why are you here alone?
Most Fire Emblem protagonists up to this point have had some sort of evil side, or at least since Awakening. A lot of trends have been started since Awakening. But of course, in Fire Emblem Awakening, your main protagonist, spoilers, becomes the vessel of the Fell Dragon. Fire Emblem Fates, again, spoilers, your main protagonist is the offspring of the Fell Dragon. Fire Emblem Three Houses, again, spoilers, the main protagonist is harboring the heart of the Divine Dragon. There's a lot, or rather, well, yeah, there's a lot of connections to another side of the protagonist. And again, we're following that trend here. You'll notice right away in that cutscene, Alier had entirely red hair. And here, Alier has red and blue hair. Haha! Subtle symbolism. Alier was made fun of for this a lot. And I actually kind of like this symbolism. We'll delve more into it later. But I don't think it's a spoiler at this point to say there is a red Alier.
What was that? Was that me?
Are you all right? It looked as though you were having a bad dream.
I was. But yes, I'm all right.
I had a dream about a red herring.
Were you here this whole time?
You were wearing my ring when you went to bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to take it off.
That's all right. Keep it on. Then if something happens, I will be able to help.
I like this implication that emblems are fully aware of what's going on even whenever their person is sleeping. I assume that means that they can't rest themselves. They are like weird ghostly figures. They have a lot of weird laws that pertain to them, like they can't eat food, things like that. They can't interact with reality unless they're fighting. It's very, very strange, and this is one of those little strange things.
Besides, after a millennium together, I would feel uncomfortable if we were separated now.
Cute!
Marth, what was I like?
They're so cute! No, but you don't just drop a line like this and then call it not gay.
You knew me back then. You must be able to tell me something.
Well, you were kind, as you are now. There's no need to remember everything at once.
I love this, actually. Again, something that I'll need to delve into later because reasons, but the implication here that Marth knows Alier better than anyone. Marth saw what Alier was like 1,000 years ago, and Marth understands that even 1,000 years ago, Alier was still the same kind-hearted dragon that he is now. I kind of ship it. I don't really see it often, but yeah, I kind of ship it. I think there is a lot of fanfiction of these two out there, but maybe I just don't seek it out enough.
Take your time. Ease back into your memories. Lumera advised that too, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Sorry. I don't mean to be impatient.
It's all right.
What was that?
It was the plot.
I'm not sure. An enemy raid? We had best take a look. I'm worried about Lumera and the others.
Agreed.
We can all just agree that Marth looks really good in this game, though. He looks so pretty. Ah! Yes!
Vander! Clan! Fram!
Oh, Divine One. Thank goodness you're safe.
What's happening? Tell me!
Some enemies busted right through the castle walls like paper! Suddenly, bam! They're here!
What's worse, they fought their way into the ring vault. If you ask me, they're trying to get their hands on the emblem rings.
Even as we speak, Queen Lumera is defending the vault. Quickly, we must fly to her aid.
Sounds like a plan. Follow me!
Oh, he's not here yet. Of course, the plot had to happen at some point. And right now we only have 4 units, but that is totally fine.
As your steward. Yeah.
I probably should have weakened him with
I am
finger,
your
but
weapon.
we're being kind of reckless in this first bit. If people die, they die. I intend to mostly use the royals anyway.
I'll do my best.
But I did want Alier to get EXP here. Alier probably missed a crucial level up. And that's fine. We can just use Marth, I guess. Well, let's see. I'll want Etier to go this way. If I go here and engage. That works.
I live to fight again.
I live to fight again, Alier says.
For the Divine Dragon!
That kind of hurts. I don't really need to chain guard yet. I think I'll save it. The fact that Alier is already putting himself in that position of I live to fight. It's an extremely unhealthy mindset to have. Don't worry, he'll be fine. I promise.
There are too many of them. We'll never make it to the ring vault.
Through this door, right?
There he is!
Yeah, this is the one.
Then let's go.
I hear voices. Someone's coming.
Made it. And not a moment too soon. The Crown Prince Alfred of Firenze is here to help. Let me at him.
I love him!
Prince Alfred of Firenze, you said?
Could it be? Are you the Divine Dragon? You finally woke up?
I did, yes.
That's amazing! You know, I've waited ages for this to happen. There's so much to talk about. Later, of course. After we've taken care of these scoundrels. Who are they, anyway?
We're not sure. They attacked so suddenly.
Well, let's do this quickly. Pin down whoever's in charge and get some answers. Oh, these are my retainers, Etier and Boucheron. From now on, consider us at your disposal. Lead the way, Divine One.
Thank you for your help.
He's here.
Sorry, Divine One. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself. My name's Boucheron. If I'm near an enemy you're fighting, I can jump in and land another hit on them. Call on me if you need some extra oomph.
It's an honor to meet you, Divine One. I'm Etier. My arrows are perfect for knocking airborne enemies out of the sky. With these muscles, I'll have those flyers dropping like flies.
For you, anything.
Ah! The little things they say in battle.
I'm all set.
So we are getting our first royal here, Alfred. He is, of course, the first prince of Firenze, which is that super religious country we've been talking a little bit about. The kingdom of abundance, the kingdom of flowers, etc., etc. Firenze is very much inspired by France, design-wise, if I recall, which is why Alfred has so many frills on his collar. And that little, what's it called, ascot around his neck. But Alfred himself comes in absolutely guns a-blazing, let me at him, which is extremely in line with his character, as you'll very quickly learn. Alfred is a good boy. Now, Alfred and Saline, his little sister, are the two Firenze royals. And Saline's actually one of my favorite characters. We'll get to her a little bit later. But those two's sibling bond is actually extremely strong and very revealing of both of their characters. Here, Alfred's being very helpful, extremely wanting to be here, I suppose. We're going to see why that is much later. But I think it's no exaggeration to say that Alfred is very full of life. Very optimistic, very hopeful. He is all around a very sweet, good guy. And he carries that with him wherever he goes. Of course, the two characters he brought with him are his retainers, Etier and Boucheron. Etier is this lovely bow-wielding lady. We're probably not going to see much of her in this playthrough. I intend to kind of focus on the royals here, but some of the support conversations between the royals and their retainers are still quite revealing. I'll talk about them as they're relevant, so I'm sorry to retainer fans out there. I love all the characters in this game, and they all have some really interesting qualities to them that you would not think when you first meet them. Most characters in this game have some sort of gimmick to them. Like just a little introduction, oh, this is what this character is all about. But the more that you get to know the characters, the more that you see they are more than their gimmicks. Very specifically. In one of the developer interviews, they mentioned that they wanted one of the themes of this game to be that you are more than what you were born to be. You are more than what lot you were given in life. And a lot of the characters, most of the characters, in fact, reflect this. So, your first impression of a character is generally not what they're all about. For example, Alfred, when you first meet him, is extremely gung-ho, extremely full of life, and that is absolutely what he's about. But we learn later that what he was born into, the lot that he was given in life, was very different from what he has made of it. I'll save that for the support conversation that it shows up in, just because I do intend to show off that particular support conversation. But put a pin in that. Etienne herself is very much a musclehead, that's her gimmick. Boucheron is a crybaby who gets lost a lot, that's his gimmick. But again, the more that you look into their support conversations, the more you learn about them, and the more that you see different sides to them. That's really a strong point of Fire Emblem games in general, I feel. So, yeah. That's probably why Fire Emblem support conversations are so strong in the first place. Oh, yes, I should talk about Alfred's skill, shouldn't I? Self-improver. One born into a noble royal family, a proficient horseman and skilled lancer. So he's constantly working on himself. Self-improver. Ties into him defying his birth. Allier? Descendant of a line of dragons going back to the ancient days. Can use swords unique to the Divine Dragon. Successor to the Divine Dragon, awoken from a long sleep, summons emblems to lead the world to peace. Divinely inspiring. Fun flavor. What is Alfred's? Whoop. The staunch and loyal Crown Prince of Firme, he trains constantly to strengthen his constitution. Haha, there it is! So, the implication here is, of course, that Alfred's constitution is extremely weak. And he trains constantly. He self-improves to defy that.
I can keep going. That helps.
We will be seeing that a lot more later as well. Whenever we get to that specific support conversation I'm talking about, that's very revealing.
I'll manage.
So we want someone to stand right here. I elect Vander, personally. We do intend to use Alfred. So we want him to get EXP. I do not intend to use Boucheron. I'm sorry, Boucheron.
I am ready to serve.
It's not perfect.
Let me help!
Ooh, it's actually really bad. With his positioning here, I can't get her where I want her to be. take care of this guy. I should have just had her kill this thing and then... Oh well. He's gonna attack her, but that's fine. I was gonna have Fran finish it off, but oh well. I think here the play is Alfred kill. Oh, I thought that was a miss for a second.
This one.
Now he stands right here and he'll take a hit. Which is really Vander's role. Oh. Allier can't fight anymore. Whoops. Oh well. I will protect Clan here, actually. Yeah. Just because I don't want Clan to get hurt.
What?
I do intend to use him for a little while. We'll see how long.
I have my orders. No one reaches the vault.
This lady is kind of cool. She does show up again later, very briefly, which is wild because I thought she died. I thought we killed her here.
I am the 32nd steward of the dragon.
Thanks for that, Vander. Well, he is not dying. So
I am pitiful.
I am pitiful. Alright, so... Alfred to get EXP. She can clean up. And then she moves in. Yeah, we're fine. Now I don't particularly
like I broke 'em.
care if some of my units die during this playthrough, because again I will be focusing mainly on the royals, but I'd prefer if they didn't. There's some really cute pictures that show up if they survive to the end.
This is what I trained for.
Just cute little, hey look, they're happy type of pictures.
Lend me your strength.
All of the royals have one. And if both of their retainers live, then they'll have a second one.
I am here to fight, not exchange words.
You know, there is a person on Twitter who hard thirsts after this lady, and you know what? I support them.
You're not just any soldiers, are you?
The agony of thirsting over a very side character.
Looks like we cleared the way. Let's get to the ring vault. Whoever it is you are, the rest of your forces have all been defeated. So surrender now. If you refuse, I will stop you.
Person.
But how?
Do I detect a hint of fear? Of course I do. Time to die.
That's such a good smile, though.
Look out! rings over to me.
Leave here at once!
Convenient.
No.
Here, Queen Lumera! I'll fix you up!
What's the matter?
My staff isn't helping her. She's hurt really bad. And it's her divine dragon powers. They're almost totally wiped out. A divine dragon, losing their power. It's the same as losing years of their life. The thing is, there's no reason Queen Lumera should be drained like this. It doesn't make any sense.
It's simple, my young one. I gave my power unto you.
But why?
All the years you were sleeping, healing, I was transferring my divine dragon powers to you. I hoped it would be enough to bring you back to me someday. But now, it would seem that I am completely spent.
Oh no, this is my fault. I did this.
No, my dear. You have to push those thoughts away. There is nothing a mother wouldn't do to see life return again to her beloved child.
But
This ring, it belongs to you now. The ring of the Holy Knight. I had so hoped to give you the ring I made as well. But that's not possible now. Listen to me, child. Those who invaded here, I sensed the power of the fell dragon within them. You must not allow them to capture any more of the rings. Please, I beg of you, gather together all 12 rings. And when your scattered memories return to you, you must fight on with the utmost divinity. I believe in you, my child.
I understand. I'll collect the rings. I swear to you. And I'll fight. I'll do whatever you want. But please, don't leave me. Mother!
Young one. How I've longed to hear you call me that. All of those years, I held out hope. My heart is fuller than you could ever know.
It can't end like this. You were going to give me that ring once my memories came back. You promised. And there are so many things you haven't told me yet. You said that we would talk.
I did. There's still so much I wanted to say to you. Being your mother, becoming your mother has brought so much happiness into my life.
I know, and I'm happy to be your child. In this moment, here and now, and 1,000 years ago, I am. Don't go! Stay with me until I remember again. Please, Mother! I need more time!
Oh, my sweet one. Now, let's make a promise. Mother and child. We'll make it a pinky promise. I swear to you, I'll be with you always and forever. And the ring, remember. Once you've rested, we will talk. You and I.
Mother. No. Please!
It simply cannot have happened. Queen Lumera.
Divine Dragon Queen. She has left us.
Mother, please wake up. You promised you'd stay by my side. You have to. You have to keep your promise.
Thank you for helping with my mother's funeral.
It was the final service we could provide Queen Lumera as stewards.
I can't believe she's gone.
Come on, Fram. Think how hard this must be on the Divine Dragon. We gotta hold it together.
I'm trying, but...
Lumera. I never thought our paths would diverge so soon.
Nor I. And to leave a child behind, I did that in death. A bitter memory. I vow to protect your offspring in your absence, Lumera.
If we could grant our power now...
Marth, you know that's not possible without the other emblems here.
Just put a pin in that.
Yes, I know.
This is awful. Sorry I couldn't have done... something.
No, Prince Alfred. Without you, our losses may have been even greater. Though I must ask, why did you come? Was there something you needed?
Our kingdom is in danger. My mother sent me to ask Queen Lumera for help. All over Firene, our people are being attacked by these creatures.
Creatures? What kind of creatures?
These things are like people, but cracked, almost crumbling.
The corrupted.
Oh, so that's what you call them.
Yes. Corpses brought back to life.
No wonder they wouldn't listen to us. They just keep attacking everything. We sent our knights out to hold them off, but it's a losing battle.
It's interesting that Alfred describes the corrupted as crumbling corpses. Cracked and crumbling. I believe that some fell dragons are more talented at creating corrupted than others. Because, again, in the DLC, the Fell's Analog, we see corrupted that are indistinguishable from normal humans. I don't know if it's a recency thing, or if it's straight up a talent thing.
My kingdom is being destroyed. Divine One, will you help us? Please, come with me to Firene.
Me? What can I do? It was my mother's help you wanted, not mine.
Queen Lumera is gone. You're the last Divine Dragon. We need the power of the rings to save Firene. And only you can do that. Sorry, I don't mean to press the topic.
Nothing like waking up after 1,000 years with no memories and then immediately losing your entire support system, and then having the fate of the world thrust upon you. No pressure.
I'll return to Firene. We'll do what we can.
I'm coming with you.
You will?
I don't want more families to be torn apart. More people to suffer. Even if I'm scared, I have to push through my fear. Now that my mother is gone, it's my duty to step into the role of Divine Dragon. And if each kingdom is protecting rings, I take it Firene has one, correct?
Alier takes his duty very, very seriously. Maybe to his detriment. I see this both as a character strength and as a character flaw. Because, yes, he's making himself very strong. He's helping a lot of people. A lot of people rely on him. However, the expectations that he puts on himself are not healthy for the way that he sees himself. The way that he starts here at the beginning, wanting to run from the corrupted, being scared of the corrupted, and where he ends up being are very, very different. I don't think it's a spoiler to say he very much becomes heroic in the end. a protagonist's protagonist in the end. And seeing where he's starting off here as this scared person who's just woken up and who puts a lot of pressure on himself to become better is extremely fitting for where he starts out. Again, we'll see where he starts out later on in the story.
That's right.
Then I need to go there anyway, to honor my mother's request.
Or rather, where he started out before this starting point. I suppose he has two starting points. Before his memories were lost, and right now after his memories were lost. It's not that he's a completely different person, but he does different things in the past, of course.
She asked me to gather all of the rings and bring peace back to Helios. As the Divine Dragon, I officially accept the Kingdom of Firene's request for aid.
For Alier, this is also very personal. This is something that his mother requested that he do, that he go collect the rings. So he will.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Divine One.
Happy to help, Prince Alfred.
Just Alfred is fine. I've been visiting you at the Somniel since I was a boy.
So of course he sees Alier as a friend, because he's talked to Alier like he's a friend since he was a kid.
I think of you as an old friend. A very, very old friend.
I appreciate that. Actually, I can't remember anything from before I fell asleep.
This particular duo is one of the most popular ships in Fire Emblem Engage, and I definitely see why. Alfred has that like recency bias, or not recency bias, what is it? Alfred has that first impression bias, where he's the very first royal who you meet, and he already has this connection with Alier. I can see it.
Nothing?
This world is new to me. I appreciate having friends who can teach me about it.
Again, Alfred is essentially introducing Alier to this world. I can see the connection.
I'll do my best. Can't say I'll know much compared to Queen Lumera, but I'll try.
Thank you, Alfred.
Because Queen Lumera passed away so early on in the story, well, she's a Fire Emblem mom, of course she did. Because she passed on so early in the story, she, of course, was unable to info dump all of Alier's past history. But she also was unable to slowly introduce Alier to his new environment. She didn't die alone. But she died with the last thing on her mind being that she wants to spend time with Alier, that she never wants to be separated from Alier again. That thought process at the moment of her death, I feel becomes important later on. And I'll explain in more detail once we get to that point. You know, I think this line of text here, I will be your sword and shield, Divine One, and a flower. What brings more comfort than that? Alfred recognizes that Alier is mourning, and he recognizes that fighting alone is not enough. There is a social aspect to Alfred here.
No.
I'm sorry.
Everyone mourning.
We ought to establish a base of operations before we begin our journey. The Somniel would be uniquely useful.
A little out of the way, isn't it? I can't imagine how we'd get everyone there and back.
As a divine dragon, you can travel there no matter where you are in the world.
This right here, I understand that there are certain aspects that are gameplay relevant, like very much need to be a thing because of gameplay. You want to be able to have a home base, you want to be able to travel between your home base and whatever your next story chapter is. But then the story applications are broken.
I can?
Indeed. Furthermore, one can only enter the Somniel with a divine dragon's power.
I do think that these kinds of gameplay decisions don't necessarily have to make sense in the context of a story. I think it's more important for a story to feel good than it is to rid it of every plot hole. I really don't think that plot holes are as important as theming and characters in the story itself. So I forgive it.
Without Queen Lumera's blessing, even we stewards couldn't have set foot there.
That applies to all forms of media, by the way. That is my solid stance on storytelling.
That is what makes it a safe haven.
Well then, yes. Let's use it as our base. But before we depart, can you give me a moment? We'll be gone a while, so I'd like to say goodbye to my mother.
Of course. Take as much time as you need.
Thank you for watching over me all this time. This journey will be a long one. But don't worry. Vander and the others will be right beside me. I will fulfill my duty as the Divine Dragon. I will find all of the rings, just as you asked. And then, I'll return to you, Mother. I promise. Here we are, safely returned to the Somniel. I didn't realize how spacious this place was.
It is rather quiet, I know. But it will liven up as we gain allies. We may need someone to supply us with equipment as well. Something to consider.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Divine One, might this be yours?
A piece of jewelry. I don't recognize it.
This
The crystal looks unusual.
Piece of jewelry here is, of course, one of those gameplay relevant versus story relevant things. It is a time crystal. So it's essentially our Divine Pulse. If you played Fire Emblem Three Houses, you know that Divine Pulse is what turns back time and lets you redo turns, which is a pretty recent Fire Emblem mechanic, but a very necessary one, I feel. At least if you want to appeal to a broader fan base, as opposed to having to reset every time you lose a character. Personally, I don't care too much if a character dies, so long as they're not like an absolute favorite. In fact, I find it kind of fun to to watch my characters that I've grown attached to die and then go, oh no!
Where did you get this?
I know that's kind of controversial, but that's my 2 cents.
On the ground in the ring vault after the siege.
I actually feel that it helps you, the player, build a narrative for your specific playthrough. And from a storytelling perspective, the gameplay to story integration is much more interesting that way.
I thought it might be yours, but apparently I was mistaken.
That's why I'm playing on classic mode.
No one has come forward, so it must have belonged to an enemy soldier. I'll dispose of it.
Wait, it's familiar somehow, even though I've never seen it.
Then please, do take it. Perhaps it will help jog your memory.
Thank you, Vander. Once we've rested for a bit, let's set out for Firene.
I love the little sprites on the bottom. They're so cute. A friend of mine's been making little sprite beaded things, and they're so cute. Oh yeah, I do have the DLC, but I will not be playing through the DLC.
Yes. It is good that we can talk after I spent so long silently watching over you.
I know what you mean. I'm really glad to have you at my side, supporting me in person.
The bond conversations are sadly very short, but they do still provide some interesting insight to characters.
Right.
Oh my gosh. The fact that Alfred is so friendly with you right from the start here. It's daunting to come here, but I'm glad you're with me. That is extremely telling. He already feels familiar with you right from the start.
You know...
So I will be doing... Oh, there we go. I will be doing some support conversations. I might not show all of them, but I will show some of them.
Whew. I've hit my limit for training today.
Excellent work, Divine One. I brought a hot towel for your face. I think you will find it most refreshing.
Thank you, Vander. That's very kind of you.
I have also prepared a fresh change of clothes for you. When you change, deposit your dirty clothes into the basket, and I will wash them for you.
I appreciate your generosity, Vander, but I'd prefer to take care of my own laundry. Certainly you have other tasks to keep you busy.
My only obligation is to you, Divine One. Feel no hesitation in asking me for anything.
But...
It has been my duty to wait on you since long before you awakened. Were you to assume my duties for yourself, my position would cease to exist. So please, leave these trivialities to me, where they belong, and trouble yourself no further.
Again, I appreciate your willingness to help me, but I do feel a bit bad about all this.
There is nothing in all of Helios to feel bad about, Divine One. Now I must insist you change out of your damp clothes before you catch yourself a cold.
So that right there is insight into the daily duties of a steward. It's really just taking care of a person who's out cold. Not the most exciting job, but one they take very seriously. And Boucheron already getting lost. Oh my god, though. Wait. Look at Boucheron's popping buttons. That's Boucheron's gimmick, by the way. Or one of his gimmicks. The fact that he is huge. Ooh, I don't have any animals yet. An important place over here. The DLC added a way to increase... I don't have access to it yet. The DLC added a way to increase support ranks without having to actually battle with those two characters together, which we're going to be making a lot of use of. The well over here is going to be how we access the DLC later. But you can see there's some islands off in the distance here. This is where your statue goes up if you beat the game. Oh, Alfred's not doing his thing yet. Yeah, it looks like at this point in the game there is not a lot available yet, but the Somniel will, of course, get...
Am I lost again?
Will expand more and more as you go. This area over here, though, I want to showcase just because it's so pretty. Look at that wisteria tree. I think wisteria, right? This whole garden area is so beautiful. Alright. So we're going to be going to Firene next, of course. Which is, like we've discussed quite a bit, the Kingdom of Abundance, the Kingdom of Flowers. And we're going to meet one of my absolute favorite characters in the next chapter. That's it for Lythos. Bye!
Like the plow who cares for everyone. The light and dark restore our skies tonight. Heal our wounds and learn from yesterday. Do you remember me? Love provides, protects us.
Let me at it.